Japanese horror cinema has sadly been on the decline for quite a few years now, simply due to structural issues and the lack of interest from younger viewers. There's been an obvious lack of original movies, resulting in the shrinking of the independent industry. However, I'm here to tell you about some of the greatest Japanese horrors from the last decade, the ones that will make you want to explore the entire Japanese horror catalogue. So today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary Japanese horror movies from the 2010s. As you will realize, I am not recording from the studio today. I am actually recording from home in self-isolation, but we wanted to push out a video as soon as possible, so this is what you're getting. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments, and with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Miss Zombie. Miss Zombie is a film directed by Sabu and centers on a Japanese family who acquire an undead domestic servant whose presence begins to affect their daily lives. Her guidelines mention that her name is Shara and that she should not be fed meat, just fruit and vegetables. Can't relate. The wife of the family does not appreciate Shara and orders her to scrub the courtyard and feeds her rotten food, a practice repeated daily. On top of that, Shara's daily routine also includes a gang of youngsters attacking her, and the youngest son of the family, Kenichi, also takes pictures of her. Issues quickly arise within the family, with the wife forcing Shara to turn their son into a zombie to save him after a mortal accident. The extremity in Miss Zombies lies with its two female protagonists, with Shara managing to be overwhelmingly sexualized under her grotesque appearance, and the wife manages to present a constant sense of evil and violence throughout the entirety of the movie. The film was reviewed favorably at Variety. I quote, "The low-budget film suggests a cross between Lucky McKee's The Woman and Jonathan Levine's Warm Bodies. Miss Zombie's exploitation by her owners even recalls recent realist dramas about foreign domestic helpers." Coming in at number 4, Hell Driver. Hell Driver is a 2010 Japanese splatter film directed by Yoshihiro Nishimura. The plot concerns a young woman still reeling from the events of a zombie apocalypse, who must make her way across a dystopian Japan along with a group of allies in search of her mother, the Zombie Queen. Taku and his sister Rika are a couple of roaming sadistic murderers who eventually decide to kill her abandoned husband, during which time a meteorite falls on Rika, releasing a toxic gas that transforms every resident of northern Japan into a zombie, and her into their queen. Years later, the country is divided in half by a wall that separates the healthy population of the south from the zombies in the north. Now, this is when the government hires Kika, a skilled zombie killer, to lead a team of outlaws to the north to kill the zombie queen. The film consists of a constant bloodbath, surreal humor, battles, and of course a social commentary on drugs and racism. Now, Film Business Asia gave the movie a 6 out of 10 rating, calling it an average to occasionally inspired effort. The Hollywood Reporter gave the movie negative reviews, stating that even for a genre film, the storyline is negligible and the action choreography is run-of-the-mill. However, I disagree, with the movie being an absurd splatter that you can't help but enjoy. Coming in at number 3, Cold Fish. Cold Fish is a 2010 Japanese film directed by Sion Sono. The film concerns quiet and unambitious owner of a tropical fish shop whose life and family are taken over by a fellow fish entrepreneur who happens to be a serial killer. The film is loosely based on the exploits of two Tokyo serial killers, Sekin Gen and Hiroko Kazama, a husband and wife duo who owned a pet shop and murdered at least 4 people. Now, the film follows Siamato, a humble and guileless pet shop owner who was taken advantage of by his spoiled daughter and his second wife. One night, a grocery shop attendant catches her stealing. However, a friendly man named Murata manages to convince the clerk to not call the police. This is when we learn he is also a pet shop owner and offers to hire the young girl. Cold Fish is comprised of borderline violence, extreme gore, and sick sex, making it one of the darkest movies about the human psyche in existence. Film Business Asia gave Cold Fish an 8 out of 10 rating, praising the actor Denden, who without his tour de force performance, Cold Fish may never have worked. The review went on to state that, though there's considerable gore on display, it's largely cartoonish. Cold Fish is not so much a blood and guts horror movie, more a dance macabre about social breakdown. Coming in at number 2, Guilty of Romance. Guilty of Romance is a 2011 Japanese horror film directed by Sion Sono. The movie consists of two versions, an international cut spanning 113 minutes and an original Japanese cut spanning 144 minutes. The latter is currently unavailable outside of Japan, France, Germany, and the United States. The plot centers on a grisly murder which occurs in Miyama-cho, Shibuya, Tokyo, a love hotel district, where a woman is found dead in a derelict apartment. As the police investigate, the story interweaves with that of Izumi, the wife of a famous romantic novelist whose life seems just a daily repetition without romance. One day, to break away from the loveless monotony, she decides to follow her desires and accepts a job as a nude model enacting sex in front of the camera. Now this is where everything changes, with Izumi meeting Koro and Mitsuku, who eventually get her acquainted with the world of buying sex. Guilty of Romance leaves absolutely nothing to the imagination, both in the erotic and the violent scenes. Not to mention, Sono shows just how adequately he can handle the extreme, with his characters, although very different, are all exquisite as much as they are distinctive. And finally, coming in at number 1, Confessions. Confessions is a 2010 Japanese horror/drama directed by Tetsuya Nikishima, based on housewife turned author Kane Minato's 2008 debut mystery novel of the same name. Dubbed a psychological thriller, the film follows a grieving mother turned cold-blooded avenger who has a twisty master plan to pay back those who were responsible for her daughter's death. Now, spoilers ahead for those who haven't seen Confessions, but the film kicks off with junior high school teacher Yuko Muraguchi informing her class that this would be her last day at school. Prior to this, we are aware of two things. Her husband is HIV positive, and her daughter drowned in the school swimming pool by accident. However, she informs the class that it wasn't an accident and that the two perpetrators are currently in the classroom. She hands out milk and then proceeds to inform the class that she has inserted blood from her husband inside the milk boxes of those two students, who have already consumed it. The film relies on flashbacks and presents us with a number of social issues including sexuality, death, bullying, as well as the relationships between parents and children. The film was both a commercial and critical success. It was also awarded Best Picture at the 34th Japan Academy Prize and 53rd Blue Ribbon Awards. It was also shortlisted at the 83rd Academy Awards for Best Foreign Language Film. Well, there we have it. Do you guys agree with our list? Were there any Japanese horrors that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 mind-altering SCP creatures. Aaron Cash said, "Is Lucy a mind-altering SCP? I'd be very scared if she was one of them." Of course I am. That is public knowledge, is it not? Nightflame 3000 said, "When will the Dark Queen notice me? Lucy seems like she would do cover songs of Lorde." Well, I noticed you just now, so you're welcome, Nightflame. Also, I will never do cover songs of Lorde because I can't sing. I actually have the worst voice ever, so you're welcome. Sammy Marshall said, "I asked and it happened. Yes, thank you, Lucy." You're very welcome, Sammy. Here's another shout out. Crombrillo Gaming said, "Lucy, love the outfit. Does the sweatshirt say woman? Cool, super cool." Yes, the sweatshirt does say women. Brandon G said, "Lucy, I've been subscribed for a month and I like your videos and all I want to say is thank you." Well, thank you for tuning in. It's for people like you that we continue doing what we do. Hence why I am recording this video from self-isolation. We want to keep pumping out as many videos as possible, so thank you for tuning in. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. And until next time, see you later.